Live. All right, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. We give double honors to Apostle Elder Great Millstone, teacher of Woolwell, being a great example to his younger brothers, as well as the son of Shalom to the hopeful elect. Is two brothers in GMS Cleveland Camp, Lord willing, coming to you back with an edifying lesson, man. And basically, I believe the title is what war, the spirit of war is in the air, man. Okay, because basically what you got going on right now, I'm just gonna read it. The brother Stay in the Spirit 144 his channel. I believe the brother's name is Tazawam. Basically, he had posted this tweet from one of those social media pages that gives information what's going on between different nations and geopolitics, etc. And basically said breaking news: China plans to quadruple nuclear weapons stockpile. Okay, and basically this was posted the third, today's the fourth day, so yesterday, man. Okay, 12:37 p.m. Yesterday, November 3rd, 2021. The year hastily coming to how about y'all shot, man. So we understand we're seeing the spirit of war being in the air, man. Okay, we're seeing these different nations. Okay, these other heathen nations prepare to come up against Babylon the Great, so-called North America, man. All right, we're seeing these different nations, the tension rising. Okay, different small skirmishes happening. They may strike one place, hit this place with missiles, etc., etc. Take one guy out here and there, and it's little things, but ultimately it's going to lead to a bigger conflict, which is ultimately World War III. So we're going to start with the scriptures.
This Joel chapter 3 verse 9. It say, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
And that's ultimately what we're doing, man. The scriptures even tell you the Lord said that he made us a prophet unto the nations, man. Okay, so Lord, it has us proclaiming this on the highways and byways, starting at Elder Apostles Great Millstone. They've been, you see, brothers been out there for decades now with the signs about World War III. Okay, the signs of thermonuclear destruction. Okay, you see that, so we're proclaiming this in front of all the nations, man. And now we're seeing these prophecies, etc., start to manifest themselves.
It say, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
And then like the elder apostles broke it down, basically that's talking about different farming tools, pruning hooks, you look that up, plowshares, etc. as things the farm, okay, things to help, organize your field, etc. Okay, things that help reap your crops. But he's saying turn that into swords, into spears, man. Okay, turn that into instruments of death, instruments of war. Okay, and that's ultimately what it is talking about, going into again a third world, World War III, man. And that's why these different nations are putting more and more money into the military. I'm gonna read it again. It says breaking news: China plans to quadruple nuclear weapons stockpile, man. Okay, because ultimately, I forgot the exact number, but if you look at how much money Babylon the Great, so-called America spends on their, Esau Edom spends on his military per year, on his nuclear weapon arsenal, etc. It's like billions and billions of dollars, man. So other nations, they have to spend that much money on their military as well, so that in order to keep up with them, man. Okay, because they just let, because Esau is going to continue to build up his military regardless. So if they stop and they don't put as much money into their military as well, then they're gonna be left defenseless, man. Which for a long time, when Esau was the only one with these nuclear capabilities, he was bullying, going around the earth bullying people, man. Okay, he was able to completely outclass these other nations, man. Okay, but now we're in a time where they got those missiles as well. Okay, and they got the military firepower. Okay, and they're making different deals, backdoor deals, alliances with each other as well. So that way they can be able to come up against them, man. Okay, and that's ultimately what all this is leading to. This is not in vain. This is not just vain threats. Because a lot of times Edomites, they'll see this and they'll you go check the comments and you look at you'll see a tweet like this, or this information gets brought out, because this is one tweet, but they got multiple articles on it. If you check the comment section, the Edomites will be talking shit like we're not worried, etc. Well, you should be worried, man. Because this isn't in vain. This is all the prophecy of Yahweh Shemel Shah. These nuclear missiles will be used, man. Okay, they're not building these in vain. I remember this was a couple months back. I don't know if you remember it. Basically, it was a satellite footage showing China building nuclear silos, man. Okay, so when they're building these things, it's not in vain. It's ultimately to destroy Babylon.
I got a quick little precept. This Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. It say, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments robed in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So going into these nuclear missiles, because what we coming into World War III.
That's right.
You know, this is going to be a nuclear war. That's why all these different nations, and like the brother just read the title in the article with China, and not just China, but all these different other nations like Russia and India. They're making these different missiles, got all these different multiple warheads and one missile, but these missiles is one of the two elements that's in these missiles is fire and brimstone.
Right.
You know, so back then in the ancient world, war was like more physical. People killing each other with swords, but this time, in this time, modern day time, war is based off of nuclear fire. Right. Them shooting nuclear missiles upon each other.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I even say garments wrought in blood. Whenever I read that scripture, I instantly think to one of my favorite movies, which all brothers and truth, I'm sure I've seen it, is that movie 300, man. Okay, you go to the scenes with Leonidas facing the Persians. Okay, the different types of militaries, and they was what? They was screaming. Okay, it was blood, swords. Okay, people getting their heads and limbs chopped off, etc. But they said, well, this one shall be well, fire, burning and fuel of fire, man. Okay. So to speak, man. Now wars really fought based on your technology, etc. What you got, that the ultimate firepower, man. Because one missile can do way more than you sending a troop of men inside of a country, you know.
I got another precept. This on Revelations 11 and 14. It say the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
God, and that's talking about wars, man. Okay, can you read Revelation 9 and tell you about the first world war? The second was said two wars come here after, man. Okay, they're talking about World War I. Okay, in Revelation 9, talking about World War I. Okay, then it says 2 wars after that. It's talking about World War II and World War III. Then the brother just read in Revelation 11 and 14, it said the second war was past. So the second world war already happened, man. Okay, it said the third war coming quickly. All right, and we're in that time of the third world's war, man. Okay, the third world war, and we see it. And again, like the brother just read, this was gonna be fought with burning and fuel of fire, man. Okay, and all these different nations, they're gonna ally together against that horde. Okay, to sit upon the beast. Even the beast is gonna hate the horde and send missiles on this place, man. Okay, so that's the time we're living in.
Oh God.
Did you finish off in Joel?
No, I'm not. Still more. Okay, this back in Joel. This Joel chapter 3 verse 11. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh."
So the Lord is gathering all these different heathen nations, man. The guy, like I made mention of earlier, the fact that the Lord got all these different heathen nations making alliances together, man. Moab, so-called China and Russia, they're the two big ones that's together right now. They both got nuclear firepower, man. I believe even Russia even has the most nuclear capabilities according to the official count. Which you understand, they're not going to openly put how much weapon they really got for the whole world to know. Okay, but Russia, according to the top official count, whatever, they got the most nukes, whatever, man. Okay, so the Lord is gathering all these different nations together, man. Okay, down there in the valley of the decision, like the brother's gonna go into, man. Okay.
Come. It say, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
And speaking again on verse 11, it said, "Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down." Hey, just recently you had, I believe it was North Korea, that was giving examples of how strong their military is. You had a bunch of, they were giving a demonstration. They had they was getting beat by hammers and shit. You know, getting like cinder blocks dropped on whatever. Basically, it's again the spirit of war is in the air, man. Okay, all these other heathen nations that are ready to go to war with America. They're like a shark in the water that smells blood. They taste the blood. Okay, so they come after they prey, man. Okay, they see this place is going down economically, morally. They see this place getting kind of weak. So shit, we want to attack what we can, man. That's why these other nations are all positioning themselves to be in a position to be the top world leader after America falls. But for all that to happen, they see America falling, man. You know, Bible should I read verse 12 again?
It say, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
And the word Jehoshaphat, the word the Heavenly Father's real name is Yahweh, man. Okay, so Yahweh Shaphat, which Shaphat is the Hebrew word meaning judgment. So it's going to be the valley of Yahweh's judgment, man. Okay, and what's the judgment for? If you go back up to verse 1, it tells you, I'm just going to read real quick. Verse 2, it says, with Joel 3 and 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, who may have scattered among the nations and part of my land. So it's gonna be Yahweh's judgment for what you heathen nations have done to the Lord people, man, what he have done to the apple of his eye, man. Okay, you scattered us across all the nations, man. Okay, you still enslaved us to this day. You still got plans to come up against us. You still poison our food, our water to this day. You still in our land claiming to be us, man. Okay, the other apostle Ramlab did it. The apostle Hard did it, and apostle Ramlab made a response. And basically, you know, I forgot what the website is entitled. I think it's like ADL or something. But basically, you had these, you know, these Amalekites or whatever that was basically trying to criticize the brothers, man, calling us Black Hebrew Israelites, etc., saying that the form of Hebrew we use is a manipulated form, trying to discredit us, etc. Man, you're constantly an adversary to the people of the Lord. So, Lord, when the time the Lord's about to deal with you, man. Okay. Another thing that's been going on as well, all them chariot sightings, man. Okay, brothers see, I know brothers, speaking to myself, hey, brothers see them all the time. Even at my job, I see them floating in the sky, etc. They're being more and more plain, man. Okay, because we're in the time of your judgment, man.
Right, because see, when this World War III happened, these other nations, they're gonna be fighting each other, but then all these other nations will team up together and try to fight the Lord.
That's right.
Because in the midst of them shooting missiles and them going at war with each other, the Lord go interfere in the war and basically disintegrate all these nations, man.
That's right.
You know, in the Middle East, you know, and the rest remain, and they will go into captivity. But the Lord is going to interfere in World War III and take down all these nations, man. That's right. And deliver His people.
Right. Little one, I'm gonna grab that too, because second, this goes exactly what the title of the lesson was. The fact that spirit of war is in the air, man. Okay, this second Ezra chapter 13, I'm gonna get to the point in verse 5. And after this, I beheld, and lo, it was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, so north, east, south, west, man. Okay, again, this is going back to the Valley of Yahweh's Shapal. All these different nations going to be over there in the Middle East, okay, in the Valley of Yahweh's decision, Yahweh's judgment, okay, over there getting it on in World War III, battling each other, okay, and when it's this whole chapter, when you go up to the top, it goes into Yahweh's return, okay, it comes out of the sea, it's talking about outer space, etc. And so it's talking about what? All these different heathen nations, all their armies, right? It says, gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, all the troops, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So all of them, but they made mention of the fact that they're going to stop fighting each other. And they're like, look, we got to subdue this man that came out of the sea. But again, that sea is talking about the Shemayim, the waters, the outer space, man, the heavens, man. You know? It says, I mean, I was really probably want to read this whole chapter. I don't know if you had anything else lined up already.
I have some.
Okay.
This Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. It say, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And who gonna be the number one ruler of that kingdom? It's gonna be Yahweh Shah. When Yahweh Shah come back with the chariots, with the angels, he'll come back and demolish these other nations, take them out of power. You know, that's what it goes into. And where they talk about how the powers of heaven shall be shaken. That's going into these other nations losing their power. First and foremost, Esau, because he the top ruler of the planet, and this is his kingdom. But when the Lord comes back, he's gonna when he comes back during World War III, he's going to take them out of power and set up his kingdom and deliver his people. Going back to what the brother pulled out in Joel 2:2 about how he go plead his cause, plead for his people. You know, in the valley of Jehoshaphat. You know, because when the Lord comes back, you know, okay, of course 2/3 go get judged and destroyed, but he go it's judgment. It's time for your for you heathens to get judgment. You know, and I remember Apostle Hart, he said when the time of Jacob's trouble comes, the Esau's struggle is about to come. You know, maybe it's gonna be time to get revenge for all the things you did to the Israelites, man.
But it said, like Brother read in Daniel 2:44, it's in the days of these kings. Then if you read up in that chapter, you know, Daniel was breaking down the division that Nebuchadnezzar had. You know, the king had about all the different. He didn't understand the statute, but basically, Daniel, the Lord put the spirit on Daniel to be able to break it down. Is a list of the major heathen empires that will rule the planet Earth. So it's saying in the days of these kings, okay, after those, basically what's saying is after those heathen empires fell, okay, then the Most High, he said, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom, man. Which again in that vision, it tells you about that stone that was cut out without hands, man, and destroying, breaking pieces the feet of that statue. It's talking about when Yahushua comes back, okay, and establishes his kingdom, man. Okay, because we're in that time. That's how again going to this chapter alone, and once you understand what those heathen empires are, etc., then you understand that we're in that time. Because a lot of times people will come up and say, like, well, how do you guys know we're in the end? How do you know we're at the end of this kingdom, etc.? Well, all these other heathen nations had their rule. The Babylonians, okay, which is the head of gold, okay, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, and now we're in the last leg of the Roman Empire, okay, where the daily moon was healed and came back. Was that feet? What was it? Look it said legs of iron and his feet were part of iron, part of clay, man. So we're in that time. So now the only thing left for that for the part iron and part feet, a part of iron, part of clay, is for it to be destroyed. The only kingdom after this is the kingdom of heaven, which is Yahushua's kingdom, man. You know. And I had some Jeremiah using. Actually, I'm gonna read Joel 2 first. I'm gonna read Joel 2:1. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for his nigh at hand." That's exactly what brothers is doing, man. Again, starting with those apostles, hey, we blowing the trumpet in Zion, man. We warning you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay, you Israelites of the 12 tribes, letting you know what time it is, letting you know we're in the time of World War III, man. Okay, letting you know we're in the time of the CHIP, okay, the Revelation 13, the Quran, man. Okay, because that's the last major, like Apostle Harris goes into. That's one of the last major things before World War III officially kicks off, man. Okay, so we're letting you know the day of the Lord is coming. Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. And this is not talking about actual people, man. This is talking about the thermonuclear missile. This is a poetic way, a parable describing the missiles, the ICBMs, that's going to touch down on Babylon the Great. Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Why? How is the land a Garden of Eden? Because Eden in the Hebrew is Adam, which means paradise, man. How is this place a paradise? You just Google or look up on whatever search engine you use. Look up, like, like a New York City skyline or whatever, water lights, etc., flashing. Okay, it looks beautiful. The sun is setting over. It looks beautiful, man. Okay, but like even talks about in Revelation the major luxury and abundance this place lives in deliciously. That place that was decked in purple and scarlet and precious gold and stones, etc. So this place is full of abundance. It's the top place on the earth. Everyone looks at this place in admiration. Okay, so right now it's the Garden of Eden, but said what? Then it's gonna be a desolate wilderness, man. Okay, after the missiles touch down, everything's gonna be wiped out, man. It says, behind them a desolate wilderness. Yet and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is at the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a nuclear missile.
Oh shit.
Yeah, is it still rolling?
Yeah, it's still rolling.
Okay, calm. So let me read it again. It says, verse 5, Joel 2:5, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Because hey, when you look up, they even show you some movie, you look up and you see all the missiles, like, it's going to tell you 200 million warheads, man. When you see all them warheads, it's going to be just pelted on the ground, man. Okay, it's going to be set in battle array. It says, before their face the people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness, man. Talk about men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking at those things which are come upon the earth, man. Okay, so these people are gonna be afraid when these nuclear missiles they see them in the sky, man, or when they come on the news and that nuclear missile alarm, they tell you, like, look, you got 30 minutes to find shelter and find cover because these missiles are about to touch down, man. One more verse. Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So these missiles are not going to hit each other and explode. They're not going to miss their target. Okay, they're not going to Esau's his missile defense system not going to work against them, man. Okay, every single missile that shot off is going to hit his intended target, man. You know.
Con. And this gonna be the war that's gonna end all wars.
Right.
You know that's why it's gonna be so great and terrible. That's why it's gonna be like this gonna be like a grand finale, but like on a high level.
God, this is a monumental time. Again, I had read earlier, it's the day of the Lord. This is the day that all the prophets all the major prophets in the scriptures have talked about. Major prophets, minor prophets, they were constantly talking about that day, the day of the Lord. Okay, when they were given visions, sometimes they would throw up, they would feel sick from seeing the destruction, man. Okay, angels said, woe is me. Okay, all these different prophets, even like it said, the Lord coming with 1,000 of his saints. Okay, literally, every single prophet seen it. So the Lord's gonna put a major emphasis on this day. There's a reason why the Lord has constantly had his men harping on this day for thousands of years. Because the Lord's gonna make a statement in the earth, man. You know?
I got let's do more than Joel. It's Joel 3:13. It say, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
They said a sickle. If you know what a sickle is, basically like a sword. It's like kind of that grip right here. It's kind of like curved. It's got a sharp blade, and basically it said what it's time. It said it's I forgot exactly how it was worded. Basically, when you reap the crops, etc., you know, it's time to pull the crops up, or cut them off. Yeah, the harvest is right, man. Okay, it's time to reap what you have sown, man. Okay, and what have these nations sown? A wickedness, man. Oppressing the Lord's people. Okay, so you're gonna reap exactly what you have sown, you know.
I got a precept. This Revelation chapter 14, verse 14. It say, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So going back to what the brothers broke down in Joel, this is the precept to that we coming into the time where you go reap what you sow, you know, and what did Esau do? Esau polluted the whole earth with wickedness. Right. And it's to say, he basically, if we paraphrasing it, destroying he that destroyed the earth. Where he paraphrasing. You know, hey, this devil destroyed the earth with wickedness and polluted this place with wickedness. So when the Lord come back, the Lord is going to destroy his ass, man. You know, it say and everybody that join him with this devil. But it say and he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And this going back to that this also going into like the gathering of the nations. Right. How the Lord about to gather all these nations together and slaughter their ass, man. Judge their ass for their wickedness, man.
That's right.
It say and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even to the horse's bridle, by the space of 1,006 furlongs. So hey, that's how much this basically represents, how much bloodshed Yahweh Shai go shed when he comes back. You know, it's to the horse's bridle. You know, and back then horses was bigger. You know, so hey, this bloodshed that the Lord about to bring is gonna be a great slaughter, man.
Even now, shit, if you look at the horse's bridle was separated, that much blood stacked up. I mean, shit, that's a lot of blood, a lot of killing, man. It's because they even talk about the slain of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth even to the other, man. So we're in a time of great judgment, man. Which, you know, World War III, the Third World War, like we read about it, it's gonna be that time of heavy judgment, man. Again, the day of the Lord, that day when literally millions and millions of people are gonna be vaporized. Like think about, let's say what the U.S. population, whatever Babylon population is like, what, like 300 million, 300, something along those lines, like 300 million, man. So it's like that 300 million people, besides the elect, you know, Lord will be part of that number, okay, gonna be vaporized instantly, man. It's like that 300 million people gonna be wiped off the face of the earth, as well as the land of Israel is gonna be hit with missiles, okay, all those people, all the Amalekites in our land over there, as well as other different places in the earth. It's like that, yes, hundreds of millions of people are gonna be going off the earth, man. Again, that's why the prophets, when they saw these different visions, they was in fear, like, man, wow, like the Lord is really about to judge, man.
The whole earth go shaking.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
I'm looking for something right now. You already had something.
This is on Isaiah 63:1. It said, "Who is this that cometh from Edom, which with dyed garments from Bozrah?" This Bozrah was the capital of Edom, right. You know, and modern day Bozrah is this place America. Mm-hmm. You know, this is the head at the top place of these red Hebrew Edomites, because they just Edomites. Calling themselves American, exactly. You know, calling themselves European, but the Edomites, going all the way back to from Jacob and Esau.
Exactly. You know, America is the chief place that modern day Bozrah, because whenever you know, Amalek in our land, whenever these so-called Israelis, etc., whenever they want to implement something, whenever they need, dealing with wars, etc., dealing with skirmishes with other countries, they always have America backing them, man. Okay, going to show you this is that main place, because they use, like I heard a brother give an example, etc. Even tells you in the scriptures, America's the whore, and basically, Israel is basically pimping America. They're using America to get stuff they want done, through its military might. Yeah.
It say, "This that is glorious in his apparel, travailing in the greatness of his strength, that I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save."
It's talking about Yahushua when he comes back, man. Okay, he's gonna come back in great power and glory, like the scriptures tell you in multiple places in the Gospels, man. Luke, Mark, Matthew, etc., man. Okay, Yahushua gonna come back in the grace and strength. But it's talking about the chariots, man. Okay, chariots of pure power, which the Spirit has been on me recently. I have rewatched Independence Day and I watched part 2 as well. And chariots, hey, it was nothing Esau could deal with them, man. Okay, of course we know it's a movie, so it's Esau's movie, so he gonna make some BS way for him to win in the end. But in the beginning, it was actually accurate what's gonna go on, man. Okay, you watch Independence Day, those chariots, one laser beam will come down, it's gonna completely wipe out entire cities, man. And say like California, New York, etc., Florida, all those different major places. Atlanta was just getting completely wiped off the face of the earth. And that's really what's going to go on, man. Just tell you in Zechariah the 5th chapter, tell you how the chariots, they're going to enter into the house of a thief. So before the nuclear missiles touch down and completely wipe out Babylon, the chariots will enter this place and destroy it, man. We even read it earlier in 2 Amos 13 to tell you about all these other nations, man. They're going to gather together and try to subdue Yahushua when he comes out of the heavens, man. All right, so they don't have to deal with these chariots.
Right, and it said that he's mighty to save. So the Lord, it's gonna be a mass destruction, right? But it's also gonna be
deliverance,
right? A deliverance as well, a great deliverance. With that, it's gonna be he want to deliver and of course the deliverance, the number of the elect is small compared to the population, right, compared to the nation of Israel, but it's about to be a great multitude that no man can number, that's about to be delivered out of all this destruction that's coming.
Exactly, because going into the fact that it's a small number compared to the world, but it's greater than time of Noah. Because in time of Noah, he only saved 8 souls. So during this time of the second death, this destruction, okay, he's gonna save more this time. He's gonna save, the great, like brother said, the great multitude.
Mm-hmm. So the Lord about to show his power on a high level. Right. It say, "Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winepress?" In the wine fat. It said, "I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there is none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So the Lord about to shed a lot of blood. Going back to that those grapes being fully white, ready to pop, ready to bust.
Ready for the harvest, right?
God, Lord about to destroy a lot of people in this third world war that's coming, man. It say for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come.
So your house side is patiently waiting to come back in destruction, man. That reminds me of that scripture, I believe it's Isaiah 42. It tell you, at long time hold my peace and hold still. Let me grab it real quick, actually. That goes perfectly with it. The fact that Lord say, the day of vengeance is in my heart. The Lord, your house side is burning to come back and get vengeance, man. Okay, all the wickedness of the earth for the 2/3 of our people, etc., who delivered them up to be put to death. Okay, the Edomites that actually put him to death on the cross. Okay, the oppression of his people over here in Babylon the Great and everywhere we're scattered. The Lord's got a lot of judgment that's ready to come. This is Isaiah chapter 42, and I'm going to start at verse 13. It says, the Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yeah, war. He shall prevail against his enemies. So again, the Lord's come back for war. Again, the spirit of war is in the air. So it's going to be a whole lot of war because we broke it down beautifully in 2 Corinthians 13, man. Not only you can have the other nations shoot missiles at each other, invading one another's lands, okay, going to war over there in the valley of Yehoshaphat, the valley of decision, but then your house side's going to come back and bring war with them as well, man. So it's nothing but just the death and destruction coming. Verse 14, and this goes exactly what the brother had brought out, I have a long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. So yeah, because the Lord didn't bring major judgment down for a long time. That's why these people are so proud, man. It's because even tell you them because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is continually setting them to do evil, man. Okay, so these heathen nations are even Esau right now. He want to establish his godhood. He got this metaverse thing going on right now, trying to establish a virtual world. He's proud and he continuing to boast himself in these things to continue to come with his wicked agenda because no judgment has come. Like I just read, the Lord said he's been still and refrained himself. But now he's about to devour at once, man. Verse 15, I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools, man. So, Lord, it's all metaphor, it's all parabolic for the Lord bringing mass destruction, man. Mass death, okay, for a judgment on the earth.
He said, I will not meet thee as a man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This Matthew 24 and 29, it said, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So this about after the days of the time of Jacob's trouble, and the chariots gonna be blocking the sky. And when the chariots come, the missiles is gonna be coming as well.
That's right.
That's what those stars from heaven represents. It's talking about those missiles. That's right. And it said the powers of heaven shall be shaken because this devil rulership is gonna be taken away from them. Right. And I remember Apostle Gabar was speaking a while ago. He was going into how Yahweh Shah gave Esau the blessing, and he's going to take it away from him because Yahweh Shah was Isaac. And Isaac gave Esau the blessing and had the fatness of the earth and on the blessing of the sword. But when Yahweh Shah comes back, he's going to take away that blessing from him. It say, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So when Yahweh Shah comes back, he'll come back in that full angelic force, man. And he gonna come back to get revenge, get vengeance, to destroy, but also to deliver, right. And save individuals from that destruction, man, across the whole earth. This gonna be a worldwide. This is worldwide. This is a global thing, man. We
wrap it up with that. It's a little one out, edifying, man. It's a quick hit, but that one give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Kakodash. We give double honors to Apostle Elder Great Millstone, Shalom, to the hopeful elect, man. Shalom.
Shalom and Bod Abor.